What's going on, people? It's your man, the YB, back once again. So, we've got another update on Conor Benn, and this one here. Okay, listen, you might watch this video and say, oh, YB, you're just picking too much. But listen, we're going to get to the picking, man. That's what we're going to do. Yeah? We're going to get to the picking today. You best believe it. And ain't no cotton either. Right? Okay, let's rewind your mind, back to Monday. This dude puts a video out. Yeah, I watched it. I thought I won by a round. Here's the evidence of that. What's this one here? Watch.
Learning, staying in shape, staying ready. I watched the fight back. I personally have me up a point. I wouldn't mind a point either.
Okay, I watched the fight back. I had myself up by a point. We don't agree. That's fine. His opinion. 2-2s. And here's the timeline of this. Posted 9:31 a.m. on the 28th of April, which is Monday. 2-2s. He jumps into the Coogan interview. Yeah? And I'm going to play it now. Which is on Tuesday morning. Here's the evidence it was on Tuesday morning. Watch.
Buy now at thezone.com.
This is Coogan Cassius for IFL TV. It is Tuesday morning. Delighted to be joined by...
Okay, so Coogan interviews Conor Benn on Tuesday morning. We know that's a day after he's told us he's watched it, he had himself up by a round. Hear these bars, hear these next bars. I've never seen... I don't know. Hear these next bars. Get ready for them.
Take that.
Well, it's been 2 days, just over 2 days since, an all-time classic in boxing, especially in this country. Have you watched it back yet? Have you watched back the fight?
No, I haven't watched it back. I probably won't watch it back for a while. I'll just, let it all settle down and, watch it back maybe in a couple of weeks, probably. Seen the highlights, thought I nicked it, based on how I felt.
So, a day before this interview with Coogan, I watched it, I had myself winning by a round. Next day, I haven't watched it, I put some highlights on, but I know I won by a round. Listen, I get it, he was in the fight. Alright, so he might have his own opinion. But what is this narrative, yeah? Did you watch it or not? Just tell the truth, man. I haven't watched it, but I still think I won. The reason he come out on Monday saying, yeah, I watched it and I thought I won, because it gives credibility. I've watched it back and I think I still won. Listen, I didn't expect him to watch it back and say, you know what, I lost. Very few people do that. Fury, I watched it back, I won. Twice he said that. So, I'm not expecting nothing, but the lying, if he watched it or not, listen, this is relevant because did you take the eggs or not, man? Yeah? I didn't take no eggs. This guy don't even know if he watched the fight or not. Why would you be lying about, I watched the highlights? And it's irking me. More so because we had Usyk come out on Eddie Hearn's brown envelopes. Yeah, but I didn't watch the fight, but it's like it's a new thing that's being put out there. Yeah, the paid Matchroom shills. They come out and, I haven't watched it, but he won 20 million rounds. He won the first 16,000 rounds. It's like, and you got Usyk saying he hasn't watched it, but Ben won. You got Ben now, who formerly said he watched the fight and still had himself winning. I haven't watched it. I won't watch it for weeks. But I know I won. Not to mention, on Ben's Instagram, he's reposting these stories from people. Here we go. Watch his story Conor Benn reposted today. It says, I believe Ben won that fight 115 to 113 after watching the highlights of the fight. If not, I would say it was a draw. People, the highlights they put out, let's have a quick search. The highlights they put out are literally 3 minutes long. There isn't like I don't believe there's a proper highlight version of it. Sorry. Highlights. Let's have a look. After watching the highlights. So Ben's watched the highlights. His fans have watched the highlights. Usyk's watched the highlights. Here we go. 3 minutes. All of the highlights, people, are 3 minutes. Look. 3 minutes. 3 minutes. So listen, the whole bag of man have watched 3 minutes of highlights and they're convinced. Usyk can watch 3 minutes of highlights and conclude that Ben won the first 7 rounds. You don't even know what rounds them highlights was taken from. So there's clearly a contrived narrative being pushed out. Ben was so dominant, we don't even have to watch it. We just saw it all from 3 minutes of clips. Ben, who watched it the day before, allegedly, He hadn't watched it, but he saw the highlights, so he concluded he won. Wild. Now, the real reason I'm doing this video is not just the... I'm not sure what you'd call it. Is it lies? Is it... It's just a bit weird, isn't it? At least get your story straight. I haven't watched it, but I think I won from my performance in the ring. We can dispute that, but fine. But this chopping and changing... I think the truth is, Ben watched it, yeah, the full fight. And he probably didn't realise he lost. So what is, after having loads of, over the last few days, Ben's been putting out all these people saying, yeah, you won, yeah, you got robbed. And they've all said the same thing, yeah, you smashed the highlights, mate. So he's jumped on now, oh, I won the highlights. If I put it out there that the highlights are banging from my side, everyone will agree with me. He don't want people to watch the full fight on Turkey's channel. That's what he don't want. Because no one will be saying that. And it shows you the level of casual you've got here. Only a casual can say, I watched the highlights and think you won by a round. How could you ever know that? Seriously. And he's reposting it. He's reposting it. And where I was initially going before I started waffling somehow, yesterday, I didn't take a snapshot of it, so I can't show you, but I wouldn't lie about it. He reposted a post that said, yeah, you got robbed, mate. It was a robbery. And I can't understand why. Right, I get why he's posting out there. Oh, I got robbed, yes. Pity party. What's my point? I can't understand why. Eubank is almost letting it slide. You got all these industry plants like Usyk, and Ben's pushing that if it was a robbery, it was a robbery. And Eubank really, he's been super humble, more humble than the build-up. When he's licking the egg off his head, he's mugging off Eggy Hearns. We've actually seen no roasting from Eubank towards Team Hen. Now, has Eubank transcended? And he's like a altruistic being now. But this is the time for the bars, man. Yeah, you got an investigation sniffing up your ass. We need some bars right now. Because Eddie Hearn be doing his... Eddie Hearn's media arm, they're doing their job. Ah, yes, the highlights. You dominated him. Usyk, he won 20,000 million rounds in the first 2 rounds. He did. That's what Usyk said. Usyk said he won 17 of the first 2 rounds. That's mad. So Eddie Hearns, he put Usyk on, man. Usyk started making some bread, some Eddie Hearns money, yeah, some El Shekel money, and he'd pull in the party line right now. That's weak. Imagine if we watched the highlight. Imagine if, I might as well come on here now, yeah, and say, yeah, I didn't watch the Fury versus Usyk fight, but I watched the Fury highlights of that fight, and I think he won the first 17 rounds. It just kind of lowers the bar, but that's all Eddie Hearn's got at this point. All Eddie Hearn and his Matchroom media room, all they've got left is the lowest common denominator. All they've got left is the highlights. No doubt edited to put all Ben's best hits in there as well. That's what they got. And that's why they're all running with it. It's no coincidence now. Everyone's only watched the highlights. I don't believe it's organically come around that way. I've never seen, honestly, people, I've never seen so many, have you ever seen it? Have you ever seen so many people come out talking about the highlights before? Ever. Never. I've never seen it. I've never seen the full 12-round fight be on YouTube from Turkey's channel for free. And everyone's talking about the highlights. That's proper mad. And if it ain't orchestrated, maybe, you're always doing the whole conspiracy thing. You're always looking too deep. Really? Yeah? What Usyk said sounded like a conspiracy to me, man. Ben won the first 7. Seriously. The biggest... Nigel Benn wouldn't even tell you that, for example. Conor might, because he's delusional. Yeah? Conor probably tell you won the first 16, like I said. Conor and Usyk would sit there and say, hey, man, we think we won about the first 16. I think Eubank got the 17th, but we had the first 16 on the trot. That's what they'd say, man. Because they're talking about another universe. Yeah? In the Andromeda universe, they actually boxed 20 rounds. So that's how Usyk came to the conclusion that Ben won the first 17, right? Yeah? On another universe. Now, I might do a separate video on this, but on this topic as well, since we're mentioning Usyk, I have heard from a very good source potentially why Usyk has come out and been chilling Conor Benn. Maybe it's not the brown envelope game. I've heard from people close to the situation. Apparently, remember when Conor Benn was putting all them sparring stories out there? Oh, he knocked out William Skull. Oh, Beterbiev couldn't last 2.5 rounds. Remember them narratives going around, knocking around? Apparently, Nigel Benn threatened Usyk and told him, "Hey Usyk, if you don't come out pulling the party line, we're going to put the leaked sparring footage out of Conor Benn touching you to the body and doubling you over like Martin Bakoli versus Joe Joyce." I swear, man, that source is leaked as well. Yeah, one of the top sources in the Usyk camp. No doubt about that one there. And it makes sense. Make it make sense another way. Yeah, make it make sense another way. And I've seen Usyk say before, "Oh, I didn't watch that fight. Oh, I don't really watch boxing." All of a sudden, dude who don't really watch boxing and don't really watch fights and he's in camp and he's not really focused on that, he all of a sudden knows what happened. Come on, man, you got stopped to the body. Conor Benn, I'm putting the question out there. Did Conor Benn stop Usyk to the body in sparring? And that is what, the footage is what's got Usyk's back up. That makes as much sense to me as him saying Ben won the first 7 rounds. Make it make sense another way. It's one of the two, man. Usyk got stopped to the body by Conor Henn. And, or the Massa Hearns, Massa Calvin Candy. Yeah? That's what it was. So listen, Conor, man. I can't tell you why Chris Eubank Jr. I got a video coming tomorrow. Chris Eubank Jr. has broken his silence now and he's kind of talking about the fight and whatnot. He almost seems a bit dehydrated still to me, if I'm honest. He seems like it's... I'm not sure of the exact science, but I've heard that when certain man, are brought out of the desert, let's say they get lost in the desert, but they're still alive, certain man, it takes like 2 weeks to recover. Eubank to me seems real. We haven't seen apart from the Sky video just went out. And even in that interview, Eubank Jr. says, well, the interviewer says, "Oh, I know you don't want to be here for a long time." So it was about a 7-minute interview. That's all we've heard. It's now Thursday. We've had no Instagram videos. They've all been posts. Yeah? Now, the Conor Benn sexuals would tell you, "Yeah, he beat the life out of him, man. Listen, this guy's been in the desert." Yeah? If you hear about any documented medical case, if you look at the literature, the medical PubMed literature on dehydration, if you dig some dude out of the desert, yeah, they wrote off for 2 weeks. It's not as simple as just glugging a bunch of water and what's the other thing they call it? Electrolytes. It takes time, man. And that's how he looks to me, is like, got no energy. It's not what I expected. And I don't think, part of it might be his humbleness, but I think the other part is he looks like he's zonked. Yeah? He looks baked to me still. And it weren't the punches. Him didn't punch that much. He just didn't. Sorry. I think what happened was Eubank's drained to his boots. Do you know how drained you have to be for Chris Eubank, who's in shape year round, to lose his legs in the last 4? In a fight where the pace wasn't that hard. Ben was jumping around a lot, but Eubank was just stood there, poised, literally not wasting no energy. The pace of the fight wasn't that hard until his legs went. Right? He had no water, and then I'm talking no water. I'm talking Chris Eubank having no legs type waterness-isms. And obviously Ben hit him a few times, and we haven't really heard from him since, which is a shame. And I want Chris Eubank Jr. to get back on, put some bars out there, man. Or is it possible? Eggy Hearn, it said, "Hey Chris, man, you beat me down to my socks." Yeah, in a poker game, Eddie was, "Oh, Chris, you lost money in poker." Listen, Eddie, in a poker game, Chris Eubank Jr. beat you down to your socks. Well, actually, your daddy's socks. You don't own your socks, man. Your daddy give you them socks. Listen, man, Eggy, Chris Eubank Jr., this last few months or whatever it's been, has beat you down to the very socks that your daddy bought for you. Took all listen, man, Eddie, if this whole fight situation was a poker game, you'd have been leaving there butt naked, man. He took all of the gear you had on, man. That's what he did, for sure. I mean, Chris, we need to hear about it. We need to hear how you muggled Eggy off. Now, like I said, I think possibly there's no Chris was doing more Instagram videos before the fight. After the fight, we're getting pictures and kind of fight highlights. Not interested in that, man. We want to hear about Eggy. That's what we want to hear about. Eggy Hearns and how washed up he is. Because you best believe he's still plotting. He's still plotting. Oh, Robert Fisher, BOC jobber. Oh, he's dehydrated. He used an illegal suit. That's what Eggy was doing on Monday. That's what he was doing. So is it possible Eggy After taking the amount of L's he's taken, I think Eggy might have done this one with Chris as well. We know Chris loves a pound note. I think Eggy might have said, listen, Chris, you've mugged me off in public. Here's $1 million. Because what did he say about Eggy? His dad has built a big business, so $1 million to him is nothing. He said, listen, Chris, be quite passive on social media. Here's $1 million, which Eddie would have had to pay him in the bet anyway. So it's not a big deal for Eggy. He was going to lose that anyway if he'd done the bet. So here's $1 million, Chris. Just be humble and let us control the narrative. Because right now that's how it feels. Obviously we all saw the fight, but the narrative... Oh, it was robbery. Oh, I watched the highlights. Oh, he won 7 rounds of the first 6. That's what the narrative is right now. Not that it matters. But listen, man, that's my job. My job is to make things that don't really matter nothing matter, okay? That's what we get paid for. We get paid a few shekels to make a big fuss out of things that really make no difference at all. But since that's our job, yeah, I am the commander-in-chief of nothingness. That's nonetheless a job, people, man. I'm going to make it do what it do. That's what I'm going to do. So come on, Chris, man. Give us some bars. We need some bars, right? The streets are thirsty for the bars. Look at this. Come on, man. Look at Conor Benn, that age. Oh, I'm joking. Oh, let me show you this as well quick before I go. Look at this. Look, this guy. I think he's so. That's what I'm saying. It's irking me. You think he's slick? Slick Rick. Yeah. Look, Slick Rick posts on the 28th. Sky Sports put a post out saying Chris Eubank Jr. discharged from hospital. Conor Benn replies to it. Great news. Clapping hands. It's like a vitriolic thing, isn't it? Oh, God, I'm really happy for you. I'm really happy you made it out of hospital because we weren't sure. We weren't sure if you were going to make it, Chris. So I'm happy you made it through after I punched your head in. And Chris is just sitting back after having a win. And Conor's like, yeah, robbery. Yeah. He's in hospital. And I'm training. Chris has got his jaw's hanging off by a thread. And I'm training. That's what he was saying. I did a video on it the other day. Seriously. So I don't know what's going on. I hope Chris is okay, though. It's not a joke. What I saw in that ring from Chris was not a joke, man. Seriously. I've never seen his legs give out like that. And it wasn't from a beating either. We all get it. Fighters' legs give out when they're taking a whooping. Conor wasn't doing much in there. Sorry, it wasn't nothing. There's nothing I saw in there which I can say, yeah, Conor, he blew his legs out. Take it. Didn't see that at all. I saw Chris comfortable, and then Bosch, 36-year-old, dehydrated, Sahara Desert legs kicked in. Anyway, Chris, Conor, man, you got airlifted to the hospital. Fact, you was there as well. Like, great news. Come on, bro. You can't play me with them weird bars. Here's another one. Look, Conor Benn reposting U6 saying, "I think Ben won. Thank you, champ." There's a whole bunch of glazing going on right now. And I actually like Conor Benn for what it's worth. I think he can go somewhere in the game. I think there's plenty of big fights for him. The rematch, I'd like it with no rehydration though. America, you got Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, all them man are looking to come to Teofimo Lopez. Even in the UK, Josh Kelly, Josh Taylor. There's some decent fights out there, man. Never mind Barrios, who's got a belt. I think he can probably beat. I'll see the odds. I reckon the odds will be pumped up for Conor Benn though. He's a UK guy, right? So they'll pump the odds for him, so I probably won't touch it. But if he was a 50-50 favourite in the Barrios fight, I'd take him on that. Anyway, let me know your thoughts, people. Smash the like button, subscribe, like for the bell, 100%. There's no doubt about this. Some people stop it, but